You're listening to Needless to Say, another disgraceful member of the Damaged Goods Podcast Network. Check out us and other great shows at damagedgoodsinc.com.
Last week we had an intelligent discussion, but last week seems like so long ago. So let's bring in this week's show with a more familiar flavor.
Fuck, cock, dick, suck, lick, blow, gobble, tickle, cunt.
Ass face, taint lips, douche nozzle, semen breath, scat movie aficionado.
Anus mouth, braided nut hair, whore paint, jizz cannon.
Jizz chin, festering sack wound, your mom's cunt was made of Pyrex, your face is permanent priest repellent.
Look, if you liked our last episode, that's great. We can't promise we won't sound intelligent again. After all, we are pretty smart guys behind all the words.
But if you think I'll ever put my kids' voices into an intro and follow it up with a really nice, pleasant chat about that failed abortion Omarosa again, you probably might want to skip this episode.
Yeah, we're all in a fucking mood tonight, so let's get right to it. Maestro, hit my...
Craig, do you have AIDS? Because HIV would be the only positive thing about you.
Maestro, hit my...
Do you know what's a really easy way to kill yourself? Climb up to Mike's waist size and then jump all the way down to his number of actual friends.
Hey, dude, what the fuck? I'm not even fucking scheduled to be in the intro.
Your parents tried to abort you until you were 5.
Holy shit. Maestro, please, let's just do this and hit my...
He's right. Our biggest fear about Mike's death is that he doesn't have enough friends to carry the casket.
Craig, your face looks like something I draw with my left hand.
The only difference between Mike and a laundromat is that it doesn't cost 75 cents to dump a load into Mike.
Now things feel normal again. Maestro, hit my...
Hey, it's my show, twat. So hit my fucking music.
All right, welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm here with Shuck and Blow.
I'm Blow. I want to be Blow. Can I be Blow?
I called you
You've
in
been for
prison.
the past 47 years, kid.
Mike did a 3-hour stint in local jail for DWI.
Yeah.
Just handing out blowjobs on the ready.
Hey, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta do what you gotta do to survive in here. The cops are like, dude, you're in general population.
Exactly.
The only other guy in the cell with you is passed out.
Variety.
Why are you sucking his dick?
Variety, man.
Yeah, that guy wasn't even awake. Why are you blowing?
Why are you sucking his dick?
Favors, man. He's going to do favors.
It's how you stay alive.
That's how you stay alive in county.
Mike starts cutting himself, then carving the wall.
He's like, you got bail. He was there for 11 hours.
11? Wasn't that long.
You don't know what it's like, man. You gotta suck dick, dude. You gotta do it.
All right. Cut that out, man.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
I'm gonna-
I think that's
I'm gonna
right
leave
the
that
fuck
in there.
Yeah, I'm
Actually,
sure
I'm
you
gonna
will.
save it and use it for a bumper on other episodes.
You're going to
Just
play
use
that
it
at all
for-
your family events.
Yeah, I should use it for my ringtone. Oh, why did I give you that idea? Okay.
Mike's talking like he got a phone. Oh, wait, he
Oh,
did.
he did.
Oh, yeah.
He did get
I
it.
did.
Mike stepped into the fucking 20th century.
Yeah, I did.
He leapfrogged right into 2014 and got himself an iPhone 6.
Yep. It was crazy.
2014. That's fucking future.
Yep.
Futuristic for me.
Oh, he's feeling it. Fucking, it's
Well, I
hurting.
wasn't the only one to step over that threshold.
Oh no, I got a new phone today, but my other phone was like just about a year old, so it didn't matter. It's called an upgrade.
Well,
No,
I'm glad
it's
you
not
called
an
it that. Everybody at this table upgraded because for the first time in the history of the show, we're all iPhone people.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
all
shit.
those fucking episodes where you guys called me a sheep,
I did.
Yeah.
Not me. I really didn't. I mean,
No.
I called both of you sheep because
Well,
you
you
guys
didn't
had
know what you
phones
were
and I
fucking
did
talking
it.
about because your last communication device was a fucking beeper in 1993. So
I know, like had a walkie-talkie with looked like Optimus Prime.
yeah. But yeah, I busted Brad's balls a lot about the iPhone, now I did buy my first iPhone yesterday. Well, I didn't buy it, at least, through my carrier and stuff. And I have to say, Brad was right. It is a way better phone. The
I
thing
have
is
to
really
say,
awesome.
after a
It is
year
way
of doing
better.
this show, that should not have been the first time you've said those words.
Yeah.
I've been right a few times.
Yeah, all right.
All right, yeah,
Couple, whatever.
that's right. And where are our listeners at? And that's why.
Yeah.
I tell you, you got the X/10. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
the
know,
10,
X
whatever.
or 10 or whatever it is.
That phone is hot, man, and it does everything it needs to do. And like your last phone was hot, but that's because it was about to blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Battery.
And that was happening a lot. And that was my switch, was because I was like, okay, I know a lot of people with iPhones. I've never heard complaints other than a broken screen, you know what I mean, and shit like that. Everybody's phone always worked. And every year, my phone, right at about the year mark, would start doing weird shit. You know what I mean? And I had one that really, literally almost blew up on me. The thing got so hot, I couldn't keep it in my pocket. I was
I remember
scared.
that.
I was like, threw it. I put it behind our work truck in the middle of the driveway because I thought it was going to burst into flames. I swear to
So
God.
you
I was
put
just
it
like,
in your work truck?
No, I put it behind my
He
work
left
truck
it
in
in
the
the
middle of
road,
the
is
drive.
what
I
he
left
said.
it in the street because I didn't
What
want to
the
burn
fuck?
my work truck down with my
Wow.
phone while I was on the
That's
job.
messed up.
All right, did you ever stop and think about the words that you just said? You were concerned that your cell phone was going to ruin your work truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Android beta tests everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys have all the software first. You know why?
Because
Because it doesn't work right.
Apple's not going to take it until it's ready. Say what you will about Apple, but the shit fucking works.
No, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've only had it for a day, so I can't tell. I can't say whether I'm gonna have problems with it, but
I know you'll find a way.
but
But the way you described every Android owner is hilarious. You're like, oh yeah, all the broken screens and everything. It's like everybody who has an Android also has Parkinson's. You know? Forget that little robot. The Android logo should just be Michael J. Fox. And
Yeah,
he's
I know,
shaking.
so.
Flux capacitor. Flux capacitor. Flux capacitor.
Oh shit! But yeah, that was a highlight of my week. This week though was getting the phone because I was having a real bad week.
Well, yeah, that was definitely the highlight. Not actually hanging out with all of us at the table outside of.
Yeah, he's,
Oh, that
outside
was
of the
fun.
show. Oh, yeah.
he's a dick like that. He don't
No,
give it.
that was a
Technology,
good time.
toys. Yeah,
we actually
that's
had
what's-
a night where we all hung out without microphones in our face.
Yeah, and our wives and everything, and
Or anything else in our
his,
face.
Manny and his wife
good.
was there. Went and seen David Tell at the Comedy Connection in Providence, East Providence, Rhode Island.
He was good. He was
It
good.
was fun.
It was.
I'll tell you this: it was the first show I've been to, at least at that club, where the MC and the other opener was arguably as good as the headliner.
As good, yeah. They were good.
Like the MC was way above expectations.
Yes.
And I'm
He
going to
was
give him a
awesome.
shout now. We've talked on Twitter. We've dropped our name to him about 1,000 times. His
Yeah.
name was EJ Edmonds, and this guy killed.
Yeah,
Funny.
And
Oh,
apparently
you
David
bastard,
Tell
man.
requested that he MC the show. This was a special
really?
request.
really.
Yeah, they're like friends.
Well, I could see why.
Well, the guy,
The guy's
owned
hilarious.
He
and
was
killed
great,
it.
man.
He owned
was
the room.
great.
Yeah.
Owned the room.
Yep.
Most MCs, they're just funny enough that you tolerate them, and you make you want the next guy. They
But,
almost tell you not to be too funny because they want the next guy to
Yeah,
seem
to
funny.
be-
Right.
Yeah.
This guy owned the room. I would have watched him for another 2 hours.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I would have
watched the whole show
definitely
with just
watched
watching him.
that guy do an entire set.
He was great,
He
and
was
he's got
awesome.
a bear hug like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, yeah.
that guy
Wicked
was laying
nice,
down
yeah.
bear
Awesome
hugs,
guy,
man.
too.
Look, this
Wicked
giant
nice.
marine.
He's giant.
Yeah.
This giant
Big dude,
marine. I
man.
go up to him
Cool guy.
backstage and I'm like, hey, I'm sure you hear this all the time. We got a podcast. I'd love to have you on, or at the very least, I'd love to have you listen to the show. Give us some feedback.
Yeah.
and he goes, "Bring it in, man."
Yep.
And he gave me this giant hug that I wasn't ready for.
It's the same
he
thing
did.
that happened
Brad
to me.
looked scared.
Well,
It was funny.
He sucked the wind out of me. This guy had arms the size of my thighs.
No, he was a big dude.
He was just a happy dude, man.
Yeah,
he was,
but he-
he had a
such a
good
nice
time.
guy.
His wife's a comedian too. She goes on stage once in a while too.
Well, he had the best joke of the night, which was talking about how he at Christmas he didn't have enough money for the kids, so he bought them each a bike and then broke it into 50 different parts. and wrapped them individually.
Sold him individual pieces of the bike. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, gave him his individual pieces.
I'm actually pissed that I didn't think of this because my daughter would have been like, "It's a handlebar."
No, but it was a great. I did have a good time. And that was the end of my good. Well, no, it wasn't the end of my good time because then Sunday I came back here.
Well, we had a show to do.
We had a show to do. You know, Mike bailed on us,
I didn't
and
bail.
we came back here. Me and Brad came back, and we did the show.
We did a show. I thought we did a great job, but I don't think it was a needless to say episode. The more
No,
and
it was
more I hear
different.
it was different. I don't know. I loved it. I thought we
Yeah.
had a really good time.
I'm sorry. I had to have lunch, man, with people. I'm not even kidding about that.
No, I know you need lunch.
Yep. And
No,
no,
it wasn't even about eating. It was
at
more
no-
about the drinking part.
and
but-
at no point in my diatribe did I say we needed you here.
no, I know. Yeah, you did. You just said it didn't feel like a real episode.
But
so
it did
that
feel
to
a
me
little
is-
off. It did feel
It
a
was
little
off.
off.
Yeah.
it's
But
always-
we had a good conversation, but I think that was kind of the lead in tonight.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of want to get back to what we're all about. This whole thing was about blowing off steam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And last week it felt like we were chill. I was sitting there with a giant Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Eventually we drank.
And Brad's wife got me hammered.
Yep.
I left. It was Sunday. I was like, I'm really not going to drink. And then I'm like, I'll have one beer. And the next thing you know, I get home and I'm like, I'm fucking wasted. Like, holy shit. My wife's looking at me like, you're wasted. Go sit on the couch. Like, what's the matter
At one
with you?
point in the afternoon, I actually looked at Melissa. I said, if you want to fuck him, you don't need to get him loaded. He'll probably just do it. Yeah. I'll question your taste afterwards. And I'll definitely need you to wash. But
I was fucking hammered, man.
Chowing half-eaten tuna sandwiches at the
That was Friday night after
Oh, I thought that was Sunday
after we
night.
recorded. Yeah, I was standing at my counter again, eating half of my wife's sandwich at 3 a.m. Just
Fucking love
standing there in
those
the middle of
nights.
my kitchen.
is that like sex talk?
Yeah.
Like eating half of my wife's sandwich?
Yeah.
That's right. I went down there, ate half my
It
wife's
was
sandwich.
tuna.
Oh, nice.
It was tuna.
Oh shit! No, I had a fucking.
Honey, I feel like going to New Jersey. You want to go to Jersey?
I had a fucking awesome time, man. Though too last week.
What, eating tuna?
That fucking comedy show was great, man. Hanging with you guys and,
No, it
and
was a good-
Manny and
it was a great
everybody.
night.
Going out to dinner before too, that was great. And hanging out at that dive bar that we went to after.
Well, that was the best part of the night. The drinking inside the club is surprisingly cheap.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
I
it
would
was.
go in there and just drink, and occasionally catch some comedy. Like if they were open for that,
Yeah, no doubt.
that's like it was like $4 a draft.
$4.
There was nothing that could
a
be
draft or
Yeah.
bottle.
Then
And it
there-
wasn't like a 2-drink minimum. They didn't have any of that stuff.
No, it was great. And then it's down basically under an overpass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, where 95 meets 195 right in front of Providence. And so it's not a heavily trafficked area. If you're down there, you're down there, but nobody's really stumbling on these
Yeah,
places.
right.
So there's a really nice bar next door. And then if you walk like another 18 feet, there's the bar we went to.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And it was a cool joint.
It was
but
great,
it
man.
was,
Fun
in
it was
there.
a divey old joint. It looked like every bar that
Yeah.
wasn't the main bar from Roadhouse.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a cool joint. Though we had a good time.
Good
We got
band.
to know the band.
Band.
What was the band's name again?
Free Swim.
Free
Yeah,
Swim.
Free Swim.
Free
yeah.
Swim. Excellent band.
I
man.
screamed out Slayer,
Yes.
which is almost as bad as screaming Freebird.
Oh, but
the-
he would have loved to
The
play.
best
I'm
was
telling
he
you,
kept
man.
saying it. This isn't Slayer. The next song. This next song is not Slayer.
Yeah.
But we're gonna. And he kept saying it. It was
But we're
hilarious.
proud.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, they were cool. We had a good time, and then we realized the night was getting heavy. But my God, the amount of drinking we did, which I didn't think we would be able to do with so many of us
Ridiculous, man.
Yep.
all of us were cocked.
Wicked.
We all got home by the grace of God.
I don't
Yeah.
know how, but at the end of the night, when we were leaving that bar, I had to give away 2 full beers. I had 2 full beers in front of me. So you know who I gave it to? The dude wearing the Slayer shirt at the bar. Remember
you
him?
go.
Yep, that guy was
Cool
cool, too,
guy,
man.
man.
Everybody
Definitely
wins
Cool
then.
guy. He was,
Everybody wins.
Really sweet.
So yeah, it was a good week. I mean, I think my stand-up dreams are over.
Yeah, we learned some lessons.
Yeah, we learned a bunch of lessons, like why I shouldn't be doing stand-up. This,
I don't know about that though.
those 3 guys put on a clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Well, I don't know. The second comedian, I wasn't really too into him.
No, he
but
was-
He
was
started
alright.
slow. He got
he
good.
started
Yeah,
slow,
that's
but
what
he
he got.
ended
Good.
strong, man.
And he did some good crowd work on top
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
The guy
yeah.
was a pro. Honestly,
exactly.
I had no business being up there. I'm talking, I did my 14 minutes in New York City, and it was
Dude,
weak.
don't even.
Weak.
Dude, you're a funny fucking bastard.
Yeah, I think I'll stick to my garage.
Listen, I'm not the first one to or the last one to call you a fucking comic. It happened again this fucking
Can you
week.
suck his dick when we finish the episode?
I tried. He won't let me. No, but I'm serious, though.
No matter how much
He
bug
always
spray
gets
I put
down
on
on
it,
himself.
it don't matter.
Yeah.
He still comes nuzzling.
He always fucking gets down on himself about that,
Yeah.
but he's
Those
the
guys are
fucking funniest
fucking
bastard
good.
I
Nah,
know.
but-
And you know what? Actually, I appreciate what you mentioned. Clay Miles yesterday, one of our label mates here, Clay Miles from Clay Time in the Basement. I work at home, so I had the ability to jump on Clay's show every Thursday
Yeah.
at 5:30. I've only been doing it the past couple weeks, but yesterday I jumped on there, and there's a handful of people in there, and I just kept hammering him with comments, and he kept throwing us some love, and then some weird technological glitch happened.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because he always throws the graphics of the Facebook comment on the screen. And at the end of the show, a comment from last week showed up, and it was my ugly ass face.
Like giant.
It kinda cut off
giant.
almost.
Like you could see pores. and the comment was, needless to say, podcast. So he just threw it up there by accident because technology got away from him.
Yeah.
And he ended up throwing us so much love. So
Yeah,
Clay,
that's cool, man.
love you.
Love
Hey,
you, man.
first
Thank
toast
you.
of the night to Clay.
Clay is awesome.
To Clay Miles.
To Clay Miles.
That's it. Had a great time talking with Clay again. The other 2 guys are going to figure out their own technology. They'll get back on there soon.
Exactly.
But we had a good fucking time yesterday. So that was good.
But
Other than that, the only other thing I had going on the week, that great deal I got on my Jeep, I just added 20% equity to it by putting brakes on my car because one of the things they were testing for apparently when they were trying to get it to pass inspection was whether or not it would stop at 180 feet. So if you're going to go to East Coast Motorsports in West Warwick, Rhode Island, don't.
Yeah.
Just
We'll
keep
leave
going.
it at that. And if he wants to come see me, come find me.
No, it's funny.
Hopefully you take one of your own cars. You'll never make it.
Yeah.
God, that's great.
Yep.
But
But
that's
it was-
that.
But it was funny. We had a great weekend, and then my Monday started with a giant hangover, all thanks to Brad's wife, and it just progressively got worse from there.
Just for the
I don't-
record, I do it with a headache. You don't even need to waste money on drinks.
Yeah.
I feel the same way every fucking Monday.
But
For a price, I'll send her over to your house just to ask her if I took the dog out. I can make this shit happen for you.
But I was just trying to get to this point that I'm not talking about work anymore. You know what I mean? I'm trying not to talk about work.
You're trying not to.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say is my Monday morning started with a hangover, so that sucked, and then it progressively got worse. And I was coming off of 2 previous bad weeks
Of
into
what,
this
work?
one.
How much
Yes.
you been hanging out with my wife?
And it drove me to a point that this morning I was at the gas station pumping gas, and this car pulls up at the pump opposite of me, and this very extremely classy woman gets out with her fucking ripped fucking tiny shorts, fucking belly hanging out of her fucking tight ass
Oh,
shirt,
yeah.
running in to buy a pack of Newports. leaves her fucking car running with their fucking skank ass little dick kid in the fucking passenger seat, right?
Skank ass little dick kid.
I've heard this story 4 times. It gets better. It gets better.
How old was this kid?
He was, I would say, between 9 and 11. Like, so like,
Given the
9,
hormones
10, or
around
11
here,
years old.
5.5.
Skank
Yeah.
ass little dick kid.
Dickhead, right?
The kid
So-
was produced entirely by GMOs.
So as soon as the mother takes off, and I think
welfare.
he would have done it with her there or not. right. Yeah, she's fucking in there buying a pack of Cools with her EBT card. Fucking, I'm sitting there.
Mint's a vegetable.
Oh my god.
Mint is
I'm
a
crying.
vegetable.
Mint is a vegetable.
So this little fuck
shit.
starts. You know when kids do that? Oh, I'm flipping you the bird, but I'm not. I'm using my other finger. And I'm doing all, and I'm pumping gas. And I'm like, this little fucking cocksucker. He's looking at me. He keeps doing it, and he's like making faces at me and doing it. So I finish pumping the gas. I put the thing on. I lean right up to the window. I go, you know what, kid? Go fuck yourself.
Wow. What the fuck, kid? This is on Monday morning.
No, this is today.
Oh, that was today.
He made it 4 days.
What the
Without
fuck,
telling a
kid?
minor to go fuck himself.
Why couldn't you just like chuck the wrong
No,
finger
because
back
the
at him
other
and play the
option-
game,
the
dude?
other option was taking this very, careful mother, her running car, just reaching in the window and slapping that fucker and driving, watching that kid ghost ride right into the fucking main road.
No.
Because that was the
Already-
other option.
You could have just let it run right into the store and hit his
It would
mother
have been
too.
great
Get
to watch
two
his other
fucking
9
birds with
fingers
one
Nah,
blow
you know
up
what?
and be like, help me.
Nah, I don't like yelling at little kids like that. And that was,
Yeah,
that was
my
rude,
ass.
but
I've
you know
seen
what?
you yell at many little kids before
But you know
in my
what?
lifetime. Many.
Fuck that kid. He was a dick. He can go fuck himself again.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. So that
telling
was
you.
my week.
I'm telling you, he's 6.5.
I don't care.
Fuck it.
With his health conscious mom.
But the
in the
best
car.
was his face when I said it. I was
He
like,
must have
I
been all
leaned right up
fucked
to the
up,
window.
huh?
He was like, "What?" So you know what, kid?
Mortified.
Go fuck yourself.
He must have been mortified. Like,
Yeah, he wasn't pretend flipping me the bird anymore. When I got in and left.
I wonder if he said anything to his mother when she got back in the car.
She was probably like, "Shut up, go fuck yourself."
Yeah, I know.
That was what surprised me is that he never heard those words before.
Yeah, no, but I think
He has, but not from a fatherly figure.
Yeah,
Like Greg.
Well, that's a good transition into our first headline. Not only is it about fatherly figures, but also about mental conditions. And so let's talk about one of my favorite headlines of the week. Former NFLer, and he's only former, not because of a lack of ability, but because of a lack of stability.
yeah, yep,
All right, Richie
brains.
Incognito,
yes.
who is a former Dolphin and a former Buffalo Bill. Richie Incognito wanted his dad's head cut off before arrest. He was at his father's funeral.
Yes.
And in the middle of the funeral, wearing a suit and tie with his family in tow, runs to the coffin and says, "I have to take this."
Yeah.
And he was trying to get his father's head to freeze it to possibly bring him back to life down the line. But let's go back a bit. Let's go back before we get into the.
No, it's funny. Is he would have been the second Bill to actually cut someone's head off.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking.
I never thought of that. I just think the guy's name is the best.
Right?
This guy can't.
Incognito, huh?
Yeah, his name is Incognito, and that's a real name.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like a street name. You know, he's like, I'm Richie Incognito because nobody can find me.
He played for the Bills and
And the
Bills,
Dolphins,
yeah.
Dolphins.
which I literally just said.
No,
but-
I know. I just remember him on the
But
Bills.
you got Richie Incognito who can't stay out of the news.
Yeah. No, he's.
And then he decides that, the funeral's the utmost place. Not the coroner, not the morgue.
No, like
I'm going to wait
planning
until
for
I've got
something,
an
huh?
audience. And then I'm going to run up to the casket and everybody in the room is going to be like, "Oh, it's Richie's dad. He can go take the head."
Yeah, he can have the head. Yeah, let him have it.
Let him have the head. We got the
Some
legs.
people take
We don't
property.
see
And
it.
then he
The rest of the
threatened.
film.
He threatened. Was it the funeral director or one of the
pushed him
the
over.
assistants?
He like pushed the funeral director
And then
over.
told him he was going to shoot him.
Yeah.
And he said he had a car full of guns, which he did.
Oh yeah, it's Rich
And he-
Incognito.
When
Of course,
the
he
cops
does.
showed up, he actually did have a car full of guns.
Of course, that is fucked up, man.
I'm
Steroids.
convinced if he was German, his name would be Richie Car Full of Guns.
That is fucked up.
That sounds
man.
more Italian. Hey, car full of guns. Oh,
An incognito doesn't?
Incognito.
do you ever see him?
I mean,
they would have needed a crane if his father's head was the size of his.
No doubt.
Oh, yeah. He's got an oversized cranium because he was steroided up.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was one of his big problems.
Oh yeah.
And now the concussion protocol. Everybody's starting to figure out that Richie, the reason he was a success in the NFL is because he hit a little bit harder than everybody else.
Yeah.
And he probably dropped his head more than they tell you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. he
And
did.
so, let's face it, Junior Seau offed himself
Yep.
because of a concussion protocol. Aaron Hernandez, yeah, he was in prison, but he was in prison already because he was damaged.
Yep.
Okay, nobody with the $2.5 million Massachusetts home is going to give it up to be in a street gang in Bristol, Connecticut.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
I'm sorry, but you know, the home of ESPN headquarters, not Thug Central.
Yep.
You know, this ain't Compton. You know, this ain't Watts.
Yeah.
You want to go back to Sanford and Son? Okay, this isn't a tough.
What?
This isn't a tough neighborhood. And so fucking Aaron Hernandez got all tough around a bunch of white collared pussies.
Yeah, exactly.
And because he was fucking crazy.
yeah.
So I got to ask, you know, I mean, I got a problem with football pussification.
Yeah.
I got a real problem with this. I feel like the NFL has become the no fun league. I don't like watching it as much because flags fly.
Fucking, it's
It's like a
aggravating,
gay pride
man.
parade. The amount of flags that
It is
fly.
Aggravating. They should just add different colors for all the
Think
flags.
The
Yeah,
different
exactly.
thing, though, is these guys, they're hitting way harder
They are. They're getting.
than they, you know what I
they're
mean?
Well,
bigger.
they're all roided out.
Bigger,
that's-
stronger,
I
faster.
think that should be what's looked into more than the concussion protocol. I mean, granted, concussions aren't great. You want to have a fucking 100 of them. You know what I mean? But
feels good.
look at
right?
boxers. You don't think a boxer leaves every fucking match he's been in with a concussion? Every single match a boxer has been in, that guy's got a concussion when he walks out of the ring.
All right, but look
Not
at George
really.
Foreman. What's George Foreman's biggest problem? He didn't remember
That
what his
grill
kid's name was.
sucks. And all his kids' name are George.
Yeah, well, that's it. He couldn't remember his
couldn't
kids'
remember.
names, so he named them all George.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then he made a grill that made millions of dollars for him.
Yeah.
So I don't think George Foreman's an issue.
No.
Vander Holyfield, not quite right,
No.
but Mike Tyson was never quite right.
And he's probably one of the boxers that got the least concussions of all.
Well, he knocked a lot of people out in the first round.
Exactly.
Well,
That's what I'm
it. He
saying.
didn't take too many shots,
Yeah.
so I don't think he's even a valid argument. Some of these UFC guys, they're crazy going in.
Yep.
You kind of have to be.
You have
Yeah.
to be, man. If you're going to be in the position
But you watch
of,
some of these NFL guys, you know, they go in and they're all like quiet farm boys who just happen to be great linemen, and then they come out like Richie Incognito.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand. Like, are they really taking shots, or are they roiding up to the point where their brains are swelling?
see,
And that's an issue.
the way I see the getting concussions and shit, yeah, that's obvious. But the fucking roid issue is there.
That's
But you got to think of technology too. The way that these players are being brought up and trained is so much more intense than it was before.
yeah. Well, it's
and
different.
they're bringing all these bodies up to what they
Yeah.
can do.
And it
You know
goes
what
by
I mean?
it goes by region too. I mean, like up here, I played football from when I was 11 all the way through high school.
That's why.
Never had, right?
Never
No.
had a concussion.
I want to cut my father's head off, but that's for a whole different reason.
Yeah, that's totally different reason.
Holy shit, you went there. I didn't think you were going to go there. I was just going to be like, oh, he started making up stories about hitting 16 home runs in Little League or whatever.
No, I did. Little League had 16 home runs in
See,
12
it's
games.
happening again.
Told you.
It's like fucking,
Told you.
what's his
Not gonna
name
fucking
on
lie to
It's Al Bundy with the
Nah,
4
Al Bundy,
touchdowns.
It
yes.
is. That was my
The touchdown
was my
that
claim
won the
to fame right
championship.
there.
What high school did you go to? Polk?
Yeah, but when I was in high school, we didn't have.
Yeah.
Oh yes, let's acknowledge this first. We are in an open air studio. We're in Studio B, which
Yep.
is an open air studio. If you haven't noticed, every time we say it, you hear crickets and vehicles.
And I tell you what, thank God from what I've heard over here from the gas factory that we call Brad tonight. It's freaking great.
Okay, the day you could ever criticize me about body odor. All right.
Hey,
It's
man.
not happening, pal.
Hey, man.
I don't care how
Greatness
drunk I
don't
am.
stink, dude. Greatness don't smell whatsoever.
But what I
I
was
smell
getting
like a coffin.
Never.
is it goes by. If you're up here playing in high school, there is no medical trainer. There is none of that.
There is now,
shit.
though. There is nowadays.
They
There
got-
has
in,
to be.
Not in this town.
There is now.
No, they got school nurses who
There
are
is
trained
now.
to handle these injuries.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
trained to, but you don't have guys.
Back in the day
out
when
there.
you played.
The coach isn't wearing a headset. You know what I mean?
Have
It's
you-
not. No, but this was happening 30 years ago in Texas, in the southern states, where football is fucking giant for those people. That's all towns
Friday
live and
night.
die by their high school football teams. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Up here, it was never like that.
No.
So you had people coming up. That's why a lot of, I mean, how many people do you know out of this area that went to professional football? There are some,
Zero.
but no, there's a few.
I know zero.
There's a few. You know, one of the Merritts went and played, you know what I mean? And those guys. But
Played for
anyway, what I'm getting at is that was just a natural ability. It wasn't the training that he received by the staff. And this is all going on down there.
I understand
Yeah.
that there's a competitive need to be the best. And that's why these guys are roiding. And that's why these guys are doing this shit. What I don't understand, though, is guys used to play with leather helmets, and we never heard about concussions. We never heard about these guys going crazy and cutting their father's heads off at their funeral.
Because the guy's name was fucking Soupy Slippers. Cuts around the corner and tackles fucking Tickly Mike.
Not just,
You know what I
not
mean?
just that, but
They were big dudes, but they weren't. They were just regular
They're
guys.
still getting hit.
Yeah, but not like that.
Still getting thrown
well,
to the ground.
Look,
Yeah.
let's put it this way: if
No.
I put a leather helmet on you and tell you
Please
go
do.
tackle that guy, you're not gonna go head first into the guy. That's the whole thing.
Well,
you know what
no,
I mean? They
but you know
feel more
what?
What,
protected.
you think they're using the helmets as armor?
Are
They
they-
made the
oh,
helmets
yeah.
too good, maybe?
Oh yeah, they are.
Are they having this issue in rugby?
No,
in other
because
parts
they
of the
don't
country?
have to tackle like
rugby
football
because
players do.
Most
It's a
of the
total
rugby
different
nations aren't
sport.
pussy enough to sit there and say, "Don't let your kids play rugby."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't tackle like NFL does.
Oh,
they don't.
yeah?
No, they
Oh, no,
don't.
no, they fucking
not
do,
even
dude.
close.
I would love
They'll
to watch
get
you play
wrecked.
rugby. I would pay so much money to watch you play.
No,
rugby.
I would play.
You know what? It's
I would
funny.
play in a heartbeat, dude. I'll
No,
play
I've-
right now.
there
I
was
don't give a
that-
fuck.
That's exactly how long you'd last. By the way, one
Yeah,
heartbeat.
One heartbeat. No, there was a that show on the Discovery Channel. They used to do these studies, like these certain things, and they did a rugby player versus an NFL player, like how hard the hits are, and NFL was a lot higher.
Yeah, but
not
it's-
by much, but I shouldn't have said it a lot higher, but it was higher, you know.
yeah.
And the thing was, is they said it was due to the equipment,
Exactly.
giving people that
You
Invincibility.
feel invincibility, and you're gonna
So
go in
they
there
said,
for the
but
kill.
that was, but still, they said, but you're hitting someone else wearing equipment,
Yeah,
so it kind of balanced out.
not
almost.
really.
So maybe the
You know,
equipment's
if you
doing
think
its
about
job
it.
for the people doing the hitting, but not so much for the
for the guy,
recipients.
yeah. You know,
And when you're a lineman, you're literally just knocking heads with people. They'll tell you no helmet-to-helmet contact. That's been the big mantra of the NFL
Yeah.
for the last 5
Never
years. No
stops.
helmet-to-helmet. You know, and we're all focused on the open field hits. But what about the guys on the line who
On
are
the
just
line.
literally off the snap every week? Crack, 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 crack,
There's
crack,
nothing
crack.
they
What do
can
you
do
think that
about it.
crack is? They're not going shoulder to shoulder.
No.
Those are helmets hitting
helmets.
each
and
other.
then none of that, the helmets are huge now. So
And then they're air inflated.
if you
Yeah.
if you try to hit somebody in the shoulder pads, that guy's wearing a helmet, you're wearing a helmet. What's gonna happen? You're gonna hit heads.
That's it.
Bottom line.
Well, I mean, it pisses me off because I'm a father of a son. You heard him last week.
Yep.
And I need this kid to play football because, as you can tell, it's not a Rhodes Scholar here.
No, he's a smart
I
kid.
need some NFL
love
money
him.
coming quick.
Yeah.
No, I love the kid, but I hate the fact.
I hope so.
Nah, I love him. I love him.
But I got to tell you, like, my wife and I have gone back and forth on this for years now. She's adamant Ethan's not playing football.
There's a big difference between playing high school football and playing in the NFL or even collegiate football.
Any football
But kids are
in the
dying on
NFL
high
is
school
totally
fields
different.
still.
Yeah, but you know
But-
what? That's been happening forever. It's just getting posted now. Yeah, some kid died on the field. He died on the field. Why? Because he had a heart condition and he ran a little too
Or
fast.
he had
and a little
heat
too
stroke
Or he
because
had
the
heat
coach was
stroke.
pushing
It's
too
happening.
hard.
Yeah, or he had
And that's
But
what's
see-
scaring the hell out of her. I'm annoyed because I hate being told no about anything.
Yeah.
I want to know why. And the reasoning I'm getting is that he might die, but he might die getting on a school bus. He might die getting in the car with me. I mean, especially in that car.
Yeah.
Right? But I get the concern and I appreciate the mothering. I really do.
No, it's awesome.
But now, there's a bullshit flag football league opening up in this town. And she's like, well, let's sign him up for that. I'm like, no, I'd rather him not play football at all than to play some watered down bullshit version of football.
Yeah.
Not just that, but after when he gets older and he wants to play real football and you guys let him, it's going to be a totally different
He's not
thing.
going to be allowed.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm going to have some kind of weird soccer midfielder that I'm going to have to explain to the rest of my family.
But but there's
Fucking laugh at that, God damn it.
There's different levels of it. I look at it like this. You're playing high school football. You're gonna have that out of the 12 teams in your division. You're gonna have that one or two kids that hit hard enough to fuck you up.
Yep.
Odds of you run into that kid are slim. You know what I mean? And then when you get to collegiate football, you're gonna have in that division maybe 4 or 5 guys that can hit you that. Because that's why I always say, you watch college football, everybody thinks, you're watching Penn State and you're like, oh, these guys are all great, or Notre Dame, these guys are all great football players. No, they're not. There's probably about 3 guys on that team that are great football players. Yeah. And there's probably one that's going to fucking go somewhere. You know what I mean? That's going to actually play, and then the other guys might be bench warmers.
But most of these hits are by accident. You're talking about it like it's a calculated thing. It's not. I know how to take 3 knuckles right now and bury them in your temple to the point you don't recognize your own name by the time you hit the ground, and possibly end your life entirely. I could kill you right now.
Jesus Christ, Brad, settle down. I know you had a bad week.
Can we do a show at my house next week?
Brad's gonna kill us with his 3 knuckles.
I was wondering what those 2 big holes out back
were for.
You
with a wind sprint. Get the fuck out of here.
Brad's wife's like, 3 knuckles ain't much.
No, but look, by the time by the time your son is old enough to be in the NFL, the whole game is going to be changed, because the way I see it, all these guys, everybody in the NFL right now grew up with that hitting mentality and now that the game is changing, now things are going to be changing in school, so those kids will grow up with a different set of rules. And the game's gonna fucking change.
My point was,
gonna suck.
You can hurt somebody
anymore.
Exactly, it's gonna suck. That's
my
what
point
I'm saying.
was, you can hurt somebody if you want to hurt them.
Yeah,
that's why I made that weirdly veiled threat at you both.
Yeah,
seriously, do a wind sprint, Mike. I want to see it.
I will I will beat any one of you guys in a fucking race any day.
Well, yeah, halfway down.
From guaranteed from here to the street, I will fucking wreck you guys.
When this show is over, we're racing.
All right, we'll film it, and with fake
we don't have to film it or anything. We'll just report next week.
I will wreck you guys, and you know it, kid.
All right, we'll send funeral cards to all our listeners.
But anyway, moving on to reality.
Whatever. Fat guy can move, bro. Fat guy can move.
You're quick. Yeah, I'm quick. I would say you were always quick and agile. We played hockey together. You were.
I still am.
You're just not that fucking quick.
You want to bet?
But
I'll bet it right now.
But even that hockey.
Wait, hold on. Take his beer away. See what happens.
Yep. But even that.
No, then I'll forget it then.
Even that hockey, right? Now, we're talking about athletes and athletics and people getting fucked up. Look at hockey. Hockey you're talking about hitting somebody. These guys are getting hit at phenomenal speeds, way faster than NFL players running.
Sometimes,
with less helmet,
most times,
with less helmet.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And they have a concussion protocol now. They do, justifiably.
Which any sport has.
I've seen hits in hockey that fucking trump any fucking NFL hit.
God,
ever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But my thing is, they're also a little tougher. Hockey players are a little tougher than football players. They're fucking a billion times tougher than any basketball player on the fucking planet.
They're way
Oh,
tougher
yeah.
than the NFL. This is a
Way
league that
tougher.
invented an injury called turf toe.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Meanwhile, you get a guy that takes a blade to his fucking face,
Dude.
and literally his carotid is just hemorrhaging
Well,
all
couple
over
of-
the ice, and he's
right-
like, "I want him to play the next shift."
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, friggin' that guy in the Bruins playing
Broke
with a
his
broken
femur.
leg.
In the playoffs, his femur.
He
broke.
didn't go off the ice. He played his
finished
shift. All right, a fucking football guy would be crying on the
Thornton.
ice. Fucking,
I know you don't want to hear this, but
Thornton.
one of the Rangers
It
did
was
this
awesome.
too against the Bruins in the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
And Zdeno
The Rangers are in the playoffs.
it's been a while, but they've been
Go
there.
ahead.
They've been
Go
there.
ahead. I was going- I
Talk
was
to me
joking.
about sports post 1994. Go ahead. I'm begging.
I'm just kidding.
But anyway, Zdeno Chara, who had the fastest slap shot in history, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, heavy puck.
Yeah.
Heavy puck.
That's scary.
shattered our captain's leg.
Yeah.
And that guy didn't
And
get
he
off
played,
the ice
man.
either.
That's-
Played
yeah.
through it, and he even
right.
dropped to the ice twice because Chara got the puck back.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And I
And
don't
he just
blame
kept
him.
peppering him with shots, and my guy's just on the ice screaming.
We're gonna beat
But
you.
you know what didn't happen? There were no yellow flags.
Yeah, I
No.
know.
There was nobody, throwing up an X.
No.
Okay, it was just, oh no, okay, we're gonna play because the whistle hasn't blown yet.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the game, man.
Fucking
The game.
hockey's a tough sport.
Hell yeah. it
Okay,
is.
if you got turf toe or if you got some kind of weird Achilles thing because you ran on artificial turf versus real grass, seriously, NFL guys, go fuck yourselves. As much as you guys are doing some tough shit,
Yeah.
maybe the reason everybody's getting hurt is because you're not all that tough.
That's
Yep.
right.
And you know what? I don't want an army of NFL guys showing up here because that's going to
What,
be a
with-
problem for
Nah.
me.
You got a hockey stick in here? We'll
I'll
take
tell you
care of
where
him
the-
real
where-
quick.
I'll tell you where the tough guys are on the football field is on the line on both sides, offense and defense. Everybody else is because look what's happened. Receivers have now become they were basketball players.
Yeah, they are still.
You know what I mean? That's what they were. They're just fast, tall,
Yeah.
thin guys. And a lot of them, don't get me wrong, they can take hits.
Oh yeah,
and
this is a
you know
lot
what
of
I
them.
mean?
I mean, you can't say
But-
that for all
No,
of them,
you
but the
can't.
majority,
You
though.
can't. But to take a hit and get up and just and move on, get back in the line and run another play, take some balls, But then you get those guys that are like, I got hit.
And quarterbacks,
And
quarterbacks,
Quarterbacks,
Big time.
quarterbacks have become
Quarterbacks are rare in the
Gigantic
NFL because
vaginas.
they're either like
No, they're
real
not
big
rare. Every team
pussies
has one.
or they're
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
tough.
Sometimes more than
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more. It's
one
like that
thing I can say
spectrum.
about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
is the guy's
well,
a tough motherfucker.
Yeah, he's tough, but
one.
he's
He's also,
stupid.
6'5".
yeah,
Yeah, he's
a
But,
big
but that
fish.
guy's taking a beating. Brett Favre was a tough motherfucker.
Brett Favre,
I mean, there's been a shitload of them.
tons of them.
But you get some
Today's
like,
quarterbacks are coddled. I'll give you
they're
that.
coddled.
I'll give you that.
Look
But
at Tom Brady. Tom Brady hurt his leg
Hostetler.
and it came
He's
out,
a
and
tough
every
bastard,
time
too.
anybody got near him, he was fucking crying to the ref. That guy almost hit me.
Well, they were stepping.
shit.
They were stepping on his UGG boots.
Yeah.
Those fucking things.
But-
I saw him in practice this week on TV. He looks fucking ridiculous. Come on, dude. He looks like he's wearing
Well-
freaking Ronald McDonald shoes out there.
He's always
Taped
ran
all
like
the
he
way
had
up.
fucking cinder blocks
Oh,
in his.
God.
Well, he
tied
never had to
his
leave the
ankles.
pocket. He had the benefit of having the greatest offensive line
That
for
was-
most of his
yeah,
career.
Exactly.
And then the last couple of years, the guys had to actually learn to move. And he keeps telling you, I'm going to play till I'm 46 years old. Now he's not talking like that.
No,
No,
he's
he's
not.
Because his offensive line got younger and stupider.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. The guy's great.
No, he's
not-
a great
he's a
quarterback.
great
Best
quarterback.
quarterback. Yeah, listen,
but when
man.
we start
you
getting
know-
into the whole greatest of all
Yeah.
time thing,
Yeah.
the GOAT shit,
Yeah,
you know what? If I had
guess,
that
yeah.
offensive line, I'd probably get a few fucking passes in. too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
All right, the
There's
guy-
1,000 other quarterbacks that with that offensive
Like,
line would have blown up the
If
same
you
amount of
if
numbers.
you
Yeah.
gave Roethlisberger the offensive line
Oh
Yes.
the
my God,
Patriots
forget
had,
it, dude.
forget about
Forget
it.
be
about
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Because Tom Brady's an accurate passer, that no doubt.
Yeah.
But he's
But
not a long
you
distance
can't-
not-
passer.
no,
can't
he's
drop
He
not.
doesn't have a cannon
No.
like that. He can't drop his shoulder and rush.
Yep.
He never had to.
No.
So when he doesn't have a running game and he doesn't, I don't want to turn this into like a football
No.
NFL conversation.
No.
But Tom Brady hasn't had to be a tough guy because he had an offensive team around him that never made him.
Yeah. Thank God, because he could never be a tough guy. So
No, I don't think the stadium can handle that high pitched squealing.
Yeah. exactly. Yep.
But other than that, I really wish Tim was here for this one. My buddy Tim was supposed to stop by tonight.
Yeah.
He hasn't made his way up the driveway yet. I would love for Tim to be here. He's the greatest Tom Brady fan of all time.
Oh
Yep.
man.
He would have really enjoyed this conversation.
But
But quarterbacks aside, I'm curious about. I think these guys are tough, but I almost feel like the injuries are coming because they're trying to prove how tough they are.
Yeah.
Rather than actually being just consistently tough and hard-nosed, and you hit people the right way. You put your shoulder into them, keep your head up, keep your chin up, okay, and don't get killed. These guys are like, I got to go the extra mile. I got to drop my head, and I'm going to just plow this guy. And that's how not only the recipient's getting hurt, but also the guy's delivering the hit.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like they're overcompensating, and now all these injuries are mounting.
They all have little dicks.
Well, last
Well,
year,
They're overconfident.
Ryan
That's
Shazier.
with the steroids.
Comes with the roids,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ryan Shazier, perfect example last year with that massive hit. He lowered his head, freaking bang. He's still.
And
not
do you know what he
playing
was
football.
going for? He was going for his career-defining moment.
Exactly.
He was looking to get on the on ESPN. He wanted everybody to be like the hit of the week.
You know what? He got his.
He got it.
career-defining
Yeah. And
moment.
so did his doctor when the X-rays came back and said
yeah.
he compressed 3 discs.
Yeah.
You know, and I almost wonder if these guys just played the game the right way and just were naturally tough, maybe we wouldn't be doing this.
It wouldn't be. Yeah, it wouldn't be at this point.
But, you know, again, turf toe. Or my favorite NFL injury is the guy who falls down and then realizes the cameras are no longer on him and then gets up and runs off the field.
Yeah.
That's my fan. They're usually linemen.
I think, but
I did that in a high school game. I faked. I faked
trying to
an ankle
get the-
injury to stop the clock.
Yeah, well, that's
I did.
different. Yeah,
Okay, and did your coach acknowledge this, or do you just look like a
No, I
douche?
told him straight up I did it, and he
did it.
and he
Totally
was
didn't
psyched.
believe you.
No, I told him I faked the injury to stop the clock, and he was fucking fired up.
It has.
It was Mr. Rigo.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he
was
loved
my
that
coach
shit.
too. He was my
I was like,
coach
yeah, I
too.
totally faked
See,
it.
I pushed out once. I was playing Little League, and I got hit in the shoulder with a pitch, and having seen what happens in Major League Baseball, I just dropped. It didn't hurt.
And just so you know, it didn't hurt. It didn't help us win the game.
No,
we still
well.
lost, but
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm
but
sorry.
I did.
But I
thought-
appreciate your
did-
lying.
I did. I
But-
totally just went down.
I just-
and said I hurt my ankle just to stop the clock. 'cause-
That's awesome though,
We were running out
man.
of
That's
time.
good. That's being a
Well,
team
Craig
player.
will go down at a moment's notice. He will.
yeah. Oh yeah. So speaking of someone to go down in a heartbeat, Asia Argento,
Oh my
the
god.
leader of the hashtag Me Too movement, will go down on a 17-year-old in a fucking second. She will suck his dick clean off.
And she's gonna bring the
Yeah.
booze too.
Yep. Asia Argento was charged with sexual assault on a 17-year-old male that she filmed a movie with, and they sent texts back and forth where they called each other mother and son.
Oh, dear God.
Oh yeah, because she played his mother in a film, and then 2 years later they met at a hotel, and apparently he was with an assistant or somebody, and she told that person to leave, and they left,
No shit.
and she told him to take his shirt off, and then went down on him in a heartbeat,
So can I ask
and
the
then
obvious question?
they fucked.
Well, can I ask the obvious question?
Yep.
Why is this kid talking?
Exactly.
Well,
Where was she when I
What
was
the
17?
fuck is wrong with this kid?
Right?
hell
Well,
was
that's
she
what I
when I
thought
was
too. You know, at the time, and it was funny because I was thinking, well, this was a while ago, and I'm thinking, what was her age? I'm like, no, she was 34.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was 17.
What's the age of consent in California?
I don't. To be
Apparently
honest with you,
17.
I think it's 18 in California. I know in certain states it's 16. Like that one that teacher just banged that kid and they're having issues with that. But
You got to be more specific.
Yeah. No shit.
Florida.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that? But, I just threw
Problem
that out
solved.
there, but
All right.
problem solved. Apparently, so she did this. She went to the room. They banged, and then she's denying it now that they did it. But apparently, it's well known. And I guess after the whole hashtag me movement and all this shit, this kid thought, you know what? She kind of caught me in a hotel room and banged me against my will, I'm sure. You know?
I'm sure he struggled.
But, yeah, I'm sure he struggled through that. He was like, I haven't jerked off in 3 months because I can't. Every time I do it, I think of a hot actress from fucking France.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Sucking
Maybe.
my cock.
Listen,
Called
maybe.
herself my mommy.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why don't you guys be more sensitive? Maybe he doesn't like women.
Oh, maybe he
You ever
doesn't.
think about that?
No, I didn't.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe he did.
was
Maybe he
offended
doesn't.
by it.
Maybe
What the
he
fuck?
likes
We don't
dudes.
know.
Yeah. And again,
Yeah.
that's why he was texting her with sexually explicit.
Yeah.
I'm just
Nice
trying to
stab
give
at
him the benefit
sensitivity
of the
there,
doubt,
boy.
man.
No, that's no. I didn't think about that. That maybe he was gay and that would make sense, but he's not.
No, he's not. He's
Yeah.
not.
Not
gay.
even a little bit gay.
No.
he's not even a little.
Do you
bit
know what
gay.
he did though? He ended up killing Anthony Bourdain, who was
Yeah.
because
Right.
Anthony Bourdain knew about all this.
Yeah.
And he was the one who came when the case came out. He immediately
Hung
paid
himself?
Him off. Well, no, he
He
paid him
wanted to
off
pay
first.
off. Yeah.
Okay, so he wrote the check and then hung himself
he-
with the fucking receipt.
He made an agreement with the kid to pay him
Hung himself with the
$380,000, and he gave him $200,000 up front, and then hung himself.
What did he? What
'Cause
did
he
he
didn't-
have to do for the remaining 180? Do you have to like get blown one more time?
Yeah.
What was
No.
the caveat there?
There was like a payment. You know, he was gonna make payments. So he paid the $250 and then realized his rent was $14,000 a month. And
I was gonna say, just give him the fucking
He's
apartment.
like, fuck it.
Where did
I
they
don't
come
have
up
the
with
other
that
180.
$380,000? I mean,
Maybe when they were fucking, they did a 360, and Anthony goes, I'll go
I'll
get
give
20.
you 20 more. I'll give you 20 more. This is fucked up, man.
My God, this kid was indirectly responsible for Anthony Bourdain
Yep.
hanging himself.
Exactly.
Well, this was no longer depression and sadness. So anybody who wants to write a big fucking sappy, oh my God, Bourdain was such an artist.
Yeah.
No, do you know what he was? He was a fucking scam artist.
Yes.
Who ended up robbing a child's innocence.
because he was also
Leathery skinned douchebag, if you ask me.
he was also he was a huge backer of the hashtag Me Too movement because his girlfriend was the
course.
Well,
first one.
what better way to hide
Right?
it?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So he
Get
went
right in
through
the
all that,
mix.
and I think, in all honesty, I think he was going to find out that, like, he knew it was going to all turn into a sham. And a guy that's had depression, a drug addiction, fought through all that, had successful TV shows, and then realized this is going to fucking ruin me. And fell back into his depression, and then was like, you know what? This fucking terry cloth fucking bathrobe fucking strap looks pretty sturdy. Let me fucking
You know,
do
I'm going to
this.
raise our second toast tonight to Anthony Bourdain for doing the right thing.
That's right.
Hey, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also like to raise a glass to Asia
AB.
Argento. Let's
Asia.
hope you learn from example
Yep.
and hang yourself too.
I know what's funny.
I'll go
is-
for an 18-year-old instead of a 17-year-old
Like I said,
next time.
Yeah, really. Honestly, they probably taste the same.
What
no,
the
it's
fuck?
fucked
They
up.
probably
There's a lot
do.
of
Actually, let me ask Mike. Do they taste the same?
It depends on what gender they are.
oh
The
Jesus.
tanginess is...
Fuck that whole
right.
family.
No, but
Yeah, no
She's a
doubt.
bullshit actress. What, can anybody name an Asia Argento movie?
I had no
With
idea.
a name
who
like
the
that, I'm
fuck she
amazed
even
it
was.
doesn't
Before
involve
this.
the
she was in a
words
few.
anal.
She was in a few things that I've seen, but I really don't remember her as being like a big.
She's never been in a movie that didn't have like the number 5 attached to the title.
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever.
But anyway, she did all this shit, and it was funny because she was being blamed for Anthony Bourdain. Like, people were saying it. People
His
that were
gayness?
close to them were like, "It's your fault,"
Well, now they know.
and
wasn't
because
her
it was
fault.
coming out. People were saying it on Twitter, blaming her for his death, and that's when she was going. She wrote that open letter, and she did all this stuff because people knew. That's what it was.
Yeah,
People
it's
knew.
people in the that inner circle that knew exactly what the fuck was going on, but
Yep.
just
I'm
wanted
glad,
her to
like,
take
Harvey
the blame.
Weinstein at least didn't get involved.
What the fuck, Harvey
Right,
Weinstein?
yeah.
Harvey
I just
Weinstein's like,
fucking-
at least everybody I fucked was over 18.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and
So
you
was
re-
the potted plant.
Yeah, that's why she claimed being raped by him because he wasn't fucking 16.
it's so fucked up though. You read this article and you fucking go through the whole thing. Says nothing about Harvey Weinstein except for the very end, and I fucking knew. I knew somehow that it would end up with something about Harvey Weinstein when it said Weinstein maintains he never sexually assaulted Asia or anyone else. It's fucking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no, he's a fucking loser.
He's fucking psyched though. now
But-
that this came out,
But you know what's
Trust me.
funny?
That's
is
one
I-
less charge out of
Yeah, one
288
less.
charges.
To
One
be honest
less.
with you, I have to say I can understand Asia's point of view because for the last few years, she said Harvey Weinstein's old balls bouncing off her ass. And then you got fucking Anthony Bourdain's Naugahyde couch looking nutsack fucking resting on your fucking chin, all wrinkly and fucking gross. So she's like, I need a 17-year-old cock.
Oh, definitely, man.
I need a young, taut, fucking taut-skinned human on top of me.
That's what fucking
imagine being her, though.
cock
Every
feels like.
Saturday morning, he just puts his dick on a small plate and goes topless. Fucking asshole. I'm glad he's dead. I'm glad he's dead. I hope she dies.
No shit.
And actually,
clean
but
the
honestly,
world.
on behalf of 17-year-old men everywhere, you should kill yourself too, because you fucked a Hollywood actress.
And then ratted.
And then
complained about it.
Yeah.
What a
You
fucking.
fucking
That's like
twat.
all those 17-year-old kids that are getting fucked by their hot teachers, and they're like, I'm pressing charges.
Fucking
What?
stupid. Hello, you know she's not gonna fucking suck your dick tomorrow if you do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. I would have been
It's
like,
not gonna happen
you know,
anymore,
that's
right?
not
When I
happening.
was 12 years old, I would have dumped so much seed into Heather Locklear. It wasn't even
Oh
funny.
my god.
I would have fucking, and she would have walked side saddle for weeks based on just what I thought I wanted to do to her.
And then when I turned 18, I would have told everybody about it, and they would have been like, you pressing charges? I'm like, no, I'm just telling everybody.
No, I want to.
Exactly. I'm telling everybody but the
I'm
cops.
just telling everybody about it.
I'm just asking you to put a billboard up on 95 South.
Yeah, no exactly.
Fuck that.
I want everyone but the police to know.
Exactly.
I would tell one friend, and it was the one friend that was afraid of me because he would have never talked to either. But no way in hell I would have ever given that shit
It's
up.
so
man.
fucked up, man. I
Yep.
don't get it. I don't know. Times have changed,
well,
boys.
times have changed. I'm glad you said that
Times have changed.
because I remember I went to college, unlike most of this table,
right?
and
No,
one
I
of-
went to
all of
college
this table.
once.
well, no,
Yeah,
there's
not to clean the
being
bathrooms,
at-
kid.
No, it's sold carpet and shit in there. It was awesome.
Yeah, you can get a JanSport backpack and just wander campus. Nobody's gonna yell at
Get my
you.
Harvard sweatshirt and just walk down the street.
Flooring community.
Yeah.
But, when we were back in college, one of our things was we always thought we were just a little bit smarter than the rest of the world. And so we laughed at a lot more things. And comedians would come to campus doing college tours because they knew they were going to get an edgier audience.
Yep.
They were going to get an audience that was willing to laugh at a few more things than a bunch of grown-ups and a bunch of adults that felt like, well, I got a family, I can't really laugh at this. And we even experienced this last week.
Yeah.
Dave Attell, even though he was a little low energy, told some jokes that made people uncomfortable because that's what he's made his career on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some of the people in the room, even that one woman that stood up and pronounced her anniversary
Oh
because
my
yeah, that
God.
was fucking
That was
ridiculous.
fucking weird.
I felt uncomfortable for her.
and
for,
she
for her
happened to be at the
boyfriend
next
or
table, which was
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
worse. But besides that, there were some people in the room that were a little uncomfortable when he made some jokes that kind of got a little squirrely.
Yep.
But college kids were never a problem with that. This week, we've learned that these movements and these hashtags have made humor now inaccessible to college kids.
Yes.
fucking.
And we
Ridiculously.
went ridiculously so. And we went down. There's a comedian named Andy Gross.
It's right in his last name.
Exactly. It's right there.
It's right there.
It's
and,
like
and in his first name, if you ask me. Oh man, yeah.
Mike read it as anal. Anyway, but this comedian Andy Gross, who admittedly I've never heard of, but apparently he's fairly big on the college set. So big that he was playing Purdue University.
he's a
That's a
ventrilo-
huge fucking college.
He's a ventriloquist.
Even better. Even better. He's got his hand up an ass already.
Yes.
So he was there and apparently he decided to push it a little bit. And he started, there were teachers and TAs, not TNA, TAs,
Okay.
Yeah.
As he looks
in
at
the
me.
front row. And so Andy Gross decided to take his puppet show and make it a crowd work session. And he started hitting on some of the TAs and some of the teachers.
Yeah.
And apparently he sexually harassed several members of the faculty.
Oh, totally. It was disgusting.
Well, the puppet did.
It was so
Fucking
stupid.
unbelievable.
The puppet did it.
Yeah, the puppet made a joke about getting an erection.
Yes. By
I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that was it.
Yeah.
You basically just said it. I'm taking too long to get to the point, and you're right. He made a dick joke at a bunch of people at a college comedy show. Where's the fucking problem?
Where's the and then he called a volunteer on stage, and then when he did something, she touched his thigh. It was part of the routine. he did a recall to the erection joke,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a callback
To a boner joke.
to another joke.
You know
about,
how-
about a puppet's boner.
Yeah, it's
and the fucking person was like disgusted, and people started storming out. But I have to say, I give this fucking guy credit because as people stormed out, he got nastier.
good.
He did,
what
and
you
he
gotta
started
do.
saying
Well,
all
just
kinds
for the
of
record,
nasty
so
shit.
did Michael Richards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it might be a little different.
At that
but-
point, he had committed to the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Once you commit, man.
Yeah.
Well, you're all in, but I mean, yeah, everybody stormed out. But I figured maybe 2/3 of the room would have hung out because
Yeah.
it was like a theater.
Yeah.
It was a fairly sizable room.
At a
Purdue's a
college.
big school.
At a college.
Yeah, and the room was packed. It was a big room. I figured maybe say there was 2,000 people in the theater. I'd say 1,200 stayed. Say 800 fucking bleeding hearts
It was
decided. that
orientation weekend.
oh, were their parents there?
No, but it was orientation weekend, so there were thousands upon thousands of students.
It was
know what I mean?
it was like a weekend that they have
Like a
every
welcoming,
year,
like come on, like
a
come
welcoming
on
thing,
in,
and
know?
where
Yeah.
you would like hang out with certain people, like you would meet new people on that
It's
day.
called orientation.
No, but Purdue has this thing that you would meet up with these people, and supposedly you go through all the
you
years
get
with
puppet
these
bonus.
certain people.
Yeah.
That's yeah, you get puppet bonus, but
It's what we call our core curriculum.
Yeah.
But it's utterly fucking ridiculous. They actually had a person from fucking CARE come down to fucking talk to these kids because they were so
Yeah.
offended and
Oh, you mean like
hurt.
emotional counseling?
Yes.
Emotional counseling.
Oh, get the
No,
fuck
they
out.
did.
Unbelievable.
That's
they
it.
did, man.
I wish they
It's
would,
like, what the fuck? Get the fuck over it.
They
It's
should have just
comedy,
had
guys.
somebody
Come
come in
on
there
now.
and tell them to grow the fuck up. and be
Grow the
adults.
fuck up.
That was the best college lesson they could have gotten. Hey, guess
Exactly.
what? You're not going to agree with everything you hear. You're still going to have to fucking
It's still
deal with
gonna
it.
have to
Right, you
fucking
gotta
deal
deal
with
with
it. So
it,
grow the
man.
fuck
Deal
up.
No, not at
fucking
Purdue.
with it.
Not at fucking hand-holding university. By the way, your school's named after fucking chicken.
Yep.
Okay, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, the lesson of
says
the
it
show
all.
should have been like your first girlfriend that you meet in your dorm. Okay, her pussy's going to smell like raw chicken.
Yes. Exactly.
That's right.
And
These
this,
kids
and
will
this
never
crowd-
make it. These kids that walked out and are fucked up will never make it in the real world.
No.
So that was it.
You won't.
What do you think
You
they were
won't.
doing, though? I'm sorry for getting so angry and
No.
cutting you off, but I
I'm
got to
getting
tell you,
No,
mad,
it fucking
too.
pisses me off too, man.
What were those kids doing? Were they all trying to show off to everybody else in the room, saying, I'm a little more woke?
More-
woke,
exactly.
fucking-
Yeah.
I'm
more
walking out of the
sensitive.
fucking room because I don't find this funny because
Yeah.
I'm a little more aware than you. And if you're sitting here and laughing at this, then you're a degenerate
Exactly.
fuck. Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck
And
yourself.
you know what?
Get out.
You know what? Call Ace Argento. Get your dick sucked and then eat a bullet. Fucking enough.
I mean, what the fuck? There was 7,000 people watching this fucking show.
Was that many?
7,000
Yeah.
fucking people were there.
Jesus,
You're
I
gonna
thought
tell
it was
me?
like 1,200 people.
No, it was 7,000 people, and you're gonna tell me that this fucking guy went up there and in his mind he was gonna go out there and sexually fucking exploit these people in front of. I mean, no
Yeah.
matter how much of a
It-
douchebag or a sleazebag,
it was-
if you think he is,
it's a
he's
fucking
gonna do that.
comedy
Come
show.
on now.
When I was
With
in college,
fucking
we had
puppets.
Adam
What?
Sandler. We had Adam Sandler come to our college because he was just on his first comedy album.
Yep.
And he was doing the college tour. And he went in, and for 2.5 hours, this motherfucker sang songs and told us all how to get loaded and get laid.
Yeah.
And everybody stayed. And then do you know what happened? Adam Sandler went to the one shitty bar in town that we could all get in with our fake IDs and bought everybody a fucking round and dropped most of these fucking pocket
Probably
for
every
the night.
Yeah.
dollar he made that evening.
And he dropped it all on getting everybody drunk, and he
Yeah.
hung out with every one of us.
That's
Now,
awesome.
would he do
awesome.
it today? No, because he's 50.
It
But do you know
fucking-
what he did back 25 years ago? He did that.
Yeah.
Okay, and because it was a college crowd and we had college humor, there's a site called collegehumor.com.
Yes.
We're all supposed to be a little more fucking ready for the
So is
world.
collegehumor.com gonna have to change their? I love their shit. They write great stuff.
Well, it's not PurdueUniversity.com, so yeah, go
exactly. So they write great shit, and it's funny. So what? Because they're college humor now, are they gonna have to change everything and just be fluffy fucking
That's
soft
fucking.
videos?
It's
for it. If
bullshit.
a bunch of schools follow Purdue, yeah.
They are.
I
But you know
expected
what?
more because Purdue is not a school that's like up in the Northeast and
Right.
buried up here in this haughty-taughty shit. They're down in the
more
middle of
of a
nowhere.
tough-
Yeah.
Okay,
well-
that's bullshit. And I'm embarrassed for college kids. College kids used to be where the fun happened, and we
Yes.
all
Where the
aspired to
nasty-
be them.
Where the
Yes.
nasty shit was said and all. fucking Animal House.
No shit. There you go, kid. Right there. Animal
Animal
House. What
House.
the fuck
What,
has
right?
happened?
They didn't make a movie about Animal House being a marketing agency when you're 40-something.
Yeah.
They made a college fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then they ripped
exactly.
it off 1,000 times. Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh my god.
Revenge of the Nerds.
It's not about a tech upstart.
Revenge of the Nerds, the fucking
Nerds.
mean nerd sexually assaulted the fucking girl by wearing a fucking
In the
costume
movie.
and pretending he was his birthday.
in the movie, and it was a
Pretending-
hit. And it was a huge
That's right.
hit.
They took her in a bouncy house to do it.
Yeah, on
And
the
it wa-
moon. They went,
And it was a huge fucking
and he
hit.
ate her out. And when he came up, he took the mask off, and she was like, "Oh, that was awesome. Now fuck me, nerd." Right?
And it was a huge fucking hit. It's a fucking cult
I had a
classic.
They also
Statement.
stuck cameras in the sorority house. Remember when panty raids were a thing? I know
Yeah.
how old we fucking
Oh,
sound.
no,
now.
but seriously,
we
though.
used to run into their houses,
Yeah.
steal their underwear, and snap pictures, and then when they weren't looking,
that was the way
we didn't
things
have
were.
Instagram.
It's
You weren't,
just fucking.
you weren't running in their houses, grabbing their underwear and going in their room and tying them to the bed and fucking them.
Well,
You know,
not
We'd
all
make
of
them
us
come
anyway.
get them, and then we'd offer them a drink, and hopefully we get laid later.
Yeah,
That was the point.
that was the point.
It's
And
just
it
too.
was
All
fucking fun.
fucking fun and games. But I had a statement I wanted to say.
I'm sorry, dude.
So-
I just ran.
Yeah,
No,
I just
to
want. I want to back
all-
off too.
Or of the Purdue students that were offended by a fucking boner joke.
Fucking unbelievable.
Your astounding amount of student loan debt is giving me a fucking huge boner. And I may have come a little bit. Next time you're sending out your bill, give me a call.
Hey,
And I'm going to jack off to it.
oh boy,
Because my shit's paid out.
Right?
man.
Yeah.
it's just fucked
'Cause
up.
I don't
man.
own that. So go fuck yourself.
The sad part
You
is
fucking pussies.
that's an
Wait a
awesome
minute.
statement.
Hold on a second. We haven't had a slow clap on here in a fucking
Oh.
while.
Thank you.
That was fucking
That was
brilliant
great.
because I actually work with a bunch of the twats right now that are bitching and moaning about their student loan debt. And you know what? I'm 42 and I'm still paying off my
Yep.
college loans. They can eat a dick.
Yeah, but you're not bitching about it. Like
No, I
fuck?
decided to start a podcast with you nice folks to get this shit out there.
Don't worry, you'll have that loan debt
to earn
friggin'
no
all
money
set.
and just hang
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, that loan debt.
Hey, guess what, guys? If you start something really creative, you can also earn no money and pay off that debt no faster than you were
But you know
before.
what's
It's actually
But you know
cost me money.
But I'm telling you, but I'm serious, man. If you go back
I've spent a ton of money on this fucking
and
show
it's making me
I
more
bought t-shirts.
stupid.
for myself.
But listen,
No.
but I'm telling you, fucking, if you were to poll most of those kids that left and caused all that bullshit, their fucking parents are paying for their fucking school.
There was a girl
All right.
wearing the fucking
I will
horn-
guarantee you.
There was a girl
that's
wearing
happening.
the horn glasses with fucking little green fucking highlights at the bottom of her hair who stormed out and then went and sucked 2 black cocks in a fucking frat house.
Why do they gotta
Is
be
what
black?
happened.
Why they
That's
gotta
what
be
it
black?
was.
because it's Purdue.
Because it's Purdue.
Oh, all
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
chicken.
that makes sense now. That makes sense now. Fried chicken.
I'll give you a $5 fill up.
No, but you know what I mean?
And I'll give you change, motherfucker.
It was just Brad made the best point. It was them standing up and walking out to show how woke they were.
Yes.
And then they
when
sit
you
in a
said it was
room-
orientation weekend, that was every fucking
Yes.
half gay guy in the room going, you know
Right.
what? I'm not sure where I'm at, but I'm going to make sure everybody sees me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
special.
I'm
Yeah.
going to stand up first and walk out of the middle of the aisle because this guy stepped on my sensitivity.
You know
Let me
what?
tell you something. I was at the Comedy Cellar in New York City. In the middle of a set, one guy left. Tracy Morgan comes in. Now this is last year. This is right after his big accident. He's finally making his comeback. He comes walking in, sits down, and does 10 minutes of the fucking grossest shit you would ever hear. Right? I was in fucking tears laughing. My wife was like, "It's kind of funny." She was like, it was kind of just straight up disgusting. And I thought that was the meaning. It was disgusting to a point. That's what was funny about it.
Right.
He made you so uncomfortable. And my wife did not stand up and walk out. My wife was just like, "God damn, that was gross. Who's next?" You know, you know what I mean?
Well, let me ask you
but
this:
that's what
if you go
comedy's
to a
about.
comedy
Yeah.
show, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead,
I've
go ahead,
stepped
brother.
on you 19
No, you
times.
haven't. Go ahead.
But if you go to a comedy show and your jaw's on the floor and you didn't necessarily laugh, but you were still like, "What
the fuck?"
It's still an entertaining show,
Right?
Still,
all
right? That's
I was
the way to fucking do it.
that was the way. Like I said, he came out. He did it was a quick set, trying out new stuff. Really don't think he was just trying out new stuff. He just came out and was fucking so gross that it was hilarious. But at the same, it was so
Well,
funny
you know what he was doing.
that I
Kinda like
wasn't
the
even
beginning-
laughing.
kinda like
I
the
was kinda-
intro?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked and not laughing. Like, and then when it was over, I laughed more.
Well, there was a payoff
know?
at the end of that I don't
Yes.
think he got to. I think
No,
he
there
was.
was.
He was
No.
gonna.
It's just people were
I
shocked more than
at the
anything.
end. I laughed. My wife laughed. It was funny.
So he had
You
the
know,
payoff. Then.
yeah.
That's it. I mean, Patton Oswalt does this great bit, and you can cut this out, whatever. But Patton Oswalt does the whole thing, and he's like, "I want to suck your cock and make it shoot down my throat," and he
Yeah.
says it in that weird pervy voice.
yeah.
Yep.
And he does it for like a minute. And then out of nowhere, he goes right back into his happy-go-lucky Patton
Yeah,
Oswalt.
exactly.
It makes
And
you
the
think.
payoff of the joke was, things you can say on TV and things you can't.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he was going for there, and may or may not have delivered.
Well,
He's a-
no,
he's a
when he
great
said,
comic,
he
though,
said,
man.
"You ever
He's
get your
fucking
cock
great."
sucked?" And the girl leans back and has that cum rope hanging from her chin to the head of your dick.
Oh, that's nothing like I was talking about. I apologize for jumping in there. I have absolutely no
But
idea
the
what I'm
best was-
talking about.
The best was the next person to come up was another add-in that they just ruined was Amy Schumer, and her first joke was, "Tracy, I never had that cum rope hang from my chin to the head of someone's dick."
Nice.
That was her opening line.
Nice. You get a callback from another comic.
Right?
That's
yeah,
pretty good. man.
But it made all the shocked people in the crowd that were like, when he walked off, everybody clapped. It was Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
He just recovered from the. It was like the first
Yeah.
time people had seen him anywhere from that accident, right? And when she said that, the place erupted into laughter.
Well,
That's-
it was
that's
like
awesome.
You know what I
it
mean?
was like the whole room said, "That's okay."
Yes.
Right. It's
Yep.
comedians are kind of like golfers, man. They get on the field and they'll fucking play their asses off, but they'll always protect each other and fucking defend each other because it's the sport. It's you know what I mean?
I do
it's-
actually.
it's
That's a
making-
really interesting
It is.
analogy.
It
I
is.
had never
an
thought of
analogy.
it that.
No, it is.
They're protecting their own.
Yeah.
They protect your own, and they should.
And
What
I
the
don't
fuck?
think,
They're
based
out
on
to
what
do
Craig
good
has told
things.
me, Craig has told us this story before. I don't know if she was protecting him so much as just standing up for the fact that those jokes were funny.
Right.
You might not have laughed.
Right.
But
they
when
were
she
funny.
came out and a female on top of it.
Exactly.
And she said, "Yeah, you thought they were disgusting, but you know what? I'm going to make a call back to it to be the.
It's okay to laugh.
It's
at
okay
this.
to laugh.
Right,
at
it's
that.
okay
Yeah.
to laugh
Because
at
they're
that. That's
fucking
what's-
jokes.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's cool that
I
they
need Tracy
do that.
Morgan and Amy Schumer to travel to fucking Purdue University.
Right?
Right the fuck now and make it a fucking
But that's
course.
my thing. It's a fucking joke. And we've said it before. How many times have you heard a comedian say nasty ass shit and be hateful and nasty as a joke? And then you meet the person that's not
Great
Anthony
people.
Jeselnik.
Great people.
Right? We've talked about Anthony Jeselnik before. You know, and that guy doesn't want to see people die.
No.
And fucking, you know what I mean? And
Well, I'm on the
and-
fence. I don't know. Maybe.
But I
But I
mean,
fucking love him either way.
we've made jokes on this show about shit. About,
I just told
like,
the guy to eat a bowl.
yeah. You know, as
and I
much as
meant
we
it.
bust Anthony, we bust Anthony Bourdain's balls. We make these jokes.
Oh no, we still
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
him.
no, fuck him. I was glad.
No,
fuck
I'm
that.
seriously glad he's
Yeah,
dead.
Yeah, me too.
But
I feel like Food Network ratings have just gone up.
I wonder
Yeah.
if his
No, but I
skin's
mean-
gonna probably last a long time under the ground.
it was lasting a long time up here.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
like a
It's just gonna be
fucking-
leather.
like a fucking baseball glove.
200 years from now, you go dig him up. It's
Oh,
just
so
a
you
leather
put
jacket.
sunglasses
Dig him up
on
in
him. He
50
looks
years.
identical right now.
Dig him up in 50 years, oil him, put a fucking baseball in his gut, and fold him in half and wrap it with some elastics. Let it sit in your bureau for a week and
Baseball
fucking take
glove.
it out, and you're all set.
Oh my god! I just realized something. He got cremated.
Oh, imagine
shit.
the
That
steak.
crematorium smells like Rawlings.
Oh
Right
my
now.
fucking it's fucked up. This is just a jar of clay. It's not even. It's not even ashes.
It's not ashes, just
Just
oil
settled
and
like
clay. Like clay and oil. It's all fucking.
Like if you broke the vase open, it would be shaped as the bottom of the vase, right?
He's shaped like sediment.
Yeah.
Sediment.
Which is something he probably ate on one of his
Sedimentary.
shows.
Oh, definitely.
Sedimentary Bourdain.
Sediment. Sediment.
That was geologist talk.
Oh, okay.
I love rock humor.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Fuck. All right.
Let's get down to the
Let's
minerals
go.
of
Let's do this.
What'd you say? Let's get down to the mineral jokes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get down to the mineral jokes.
Anthony Old Grain.
Oh shit.
All right, so what's the takeaway? Fuck Purdue.
Yes. Fuck them.
But you know what's crazy? Just to close out the college thing,
Yep.
I went to the University of Maryland, and I'm not shy about that. Half my wardrobe has that logo on it.
Yep.
Last couple weeks, the University of Maryland's been on the front page of ESPN football for all the wrong reasons, because one of their players died this year in spring workouts
Yeah.
Yep.
from overwork, and they found out it was a culture of abuse.
Yep.
And now we're finding out, as they kind of unravel this onion, that an unsuccessful football program might be the deadliest and most irresponsible football program in the country.
Yep.
I never wanted to see my alma mater in this light. But I'll be goddamned if my alma mater and the comedians that are visiting this school, because they're just back in session like any other college, they're making light of it because that's what jokes are.
Yep.
We cope with issues through humor.
Yeah, humor is one of the biggest healing factors
I don't
ever.
like that Jordan McNair died, which was the player from the University
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Maryland.
No, that's
Yeah.
But
terrible.
I'll be goddamned if somebody can't make a joke about
Yeah, no shit.
not
man.
only that, but also making jokes about the coach,
Yeah.
making jokes about the quality of who's observing all this, the athletic director,
Yeah.
all these things. The school has two options right now. They can bury their head in the sand, and it's ironic that their fucking turtle is our mascot, because they can,
Yeah, that's
they
right.
can
That's right.
literally hide in a shell if they want to. Or they can go out and address it head on. And you know what you do? You fire the president of the university, you fire the athletic director, and you say, we're not putting up with this shit,
That's
and we're going to
right.
be about responsible. Then you'll start getting people here. But this school was so hell-bent on being a football college. Let me tell you right now, I have followed this school since I went there, and we have always been a drinking town with a football problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I have never, I never imagined that my school would be making headlines for this.
I
Yeah,
saw
it's-
your school, not your school, but Maryland in the headlines today.
I'm sure there was more news related to the football program.
No, it wasn't football. It was PETA. And they posted a big billboard in Maryland today.
Oh, the
And
crabs?
the blue shell crab,
Yes.
and it said,
What?
"This is us. We're not food. We have personality." You know, something along those lines. And I was like, "Yeah, I've gone blue shell crabbing 1,000 times,
Good eating.
and they do have a personality. Dickheads.
Yeah.
They're violent,
Sweet
and fucking
dickheads.
brutal.
No, they're
and they're
nasty.
delicious.
They are
Yeah.
delicious.
They're nasty. You know,
They're
we used to
violent
catch
as a
them?
motherfucker.
We used to catch them by putting a rope behind a boat and tying frozen chicken legs.
Yeah.
And those fuckers will swim up
Oh,
just to
yeah.
eat frozen chicken.
Oh yeah.
Purdue chicken.
Purdue chicken. Yep. No, I go blue shell crabbing behind my house all the time.
Do we have them up here?
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Catch them by the hundreds right
We
behind
gotta
my
only
house.
had
go.
those red crabs.
We gotta
Sure.
go.
Nah,
Rock
I
crabs,
went and bought
no.
those.
Sand crabs,
Those are
yeah. you
garbage,
can-
those things.
But PETA did something else this week.
Other than embarrass the city of Baltimore.
They got Nabisco
Oh, God.
to free the animals on the boxes
Yeah, I heard
of
about
animal crackers to take them out of the cages.
Well, I, for one, am
I
thrilled.
don't know who I want to punch more, the leader of PETA or the leader of fucking Nabisco for fucking folding.
Well, I wanted to punch a leader in Nabisco for calling them crackers because they're fucking cookies.
they're
Thank you.
crackers.
I've been wanting to do that for years.
They're crackers, white boy.
Right?
No, Gary Goldman said this years ago, and I'm going to cop it because it was a great line. A cracker implies cheese. If
Yes.
You can't put cheese on it,
That's right.
and it's not a cracker.
Well, you can put cheese on
They're
them.
cookies. They're little tiny sugar cookies.
Might not be
That's
great.
all they are.
They're delicious.
They
Mike
are
just put
fucking
cheese on
delicious.
an animal cracker. He
Of
took
course
it
he has.
and
I
tried to
fucking-
spray cheese to put it.
Oh, you know it, brother. Fucking
But
put them together.
Why? I mean, why? Because they have them in cages in the box because now they're
They're
free.
cages, but circus cages.
Now
It's supposed to be like a
they're
happy thing. Like
it's supposed to look like a circus
circus
train.
train, yeah.
It was called Barnum's
Yeah.
Animal Crackers. Barnum and Bailey.
And then they took that branding off, right?
Yeah,
Once
they
they started
did.
beating the animals, they took
And
that off.
Yeah, they took that off.
But they
and
were
then-
still cages.
Well, that
But
circus
keep
is
the
all
kids
done
safe.
anyway.
But to keep the animals safe, because you ever see a lion and an elephant and a fucking panther and a fucking tiger hanging out
yeah,
together?
yeah,
and
you
a
know,
monkey?
that's ridiculous. You can't
The
have
monkey
that.
would have been eaten by the panther. The panther would have got killed by the fucking lion. And the elephant would have
That
ran
was
because
just
there was a mouse.
Chicago last weekend.
Yeah. Right? All I can assume is that the president of Nabisco is a produce unit.
And then not one fucking single chicken cracker in that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I don't
right.
understand though. Like, are they not aware of the fact that if you go to a zoo, animals are also behind cages? So
Right.
you're saying basically you would rather have a free roaming lion exhibit
Yes.
where children can just freely interact with a bunch of lions and see how it ends?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what happens.
Those cages are there for everybody's safety, including the animals who probably don't want to get poked with sticks
Yeah,
and
definitely.
everything else. And also, by the way, it's a box of fucking cookies.
Yes.
Fucking stupid.
So bottom line is, Nabisco got the bars removed off of the fucking animal crackers thing, and if they only knew that it was made out of fucking little white seal skins. If those cookies are so delicious because the oil that they use to bake them in are from the eyeballs of the baby seals that they club in the heads
delicious.
to get the things out. And then, but if you drip it through styrofoam, it creates this
Through straws, too.
it creates this like sludge.
It's awesome.
It's nice.
It's
yeah,
really
it's good.
good.
It's almost like eating
So
manatee.
good.
Yeah, exactly. And the only way to protect yourself from the cold is to wear fucking mink coats while
Yeah.
you're doing it. Right?
Well, when you're
Exactly.
clubbing baby seals.
Well, yeah, you gotta
You
wear a
gotta
mink
dress for the
coat.
environment.
Yeah,
exactly.
clubs made
Using
made
whale
from
bone clubs.
yeah,
Just-
or elephant horn clubs.
Also,
or whatever.
just for sustenance, eat veal.
there you go.
there you go.
A shit ton of veal.
Yeah. So good. They don't even know that they were suffering. They're so young. They were just in that box for like 3 weeks. You club it in the head.
Bang,
Fucking
done. Oh, that
All
was
set.
my life. All right,
Yeah.
done.
That was it. Breaded.
And what's the word we're looking for? Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious. Delicious.
But anyway, let's move on.
Do we have any other headlines this week?
Yeah, we've got other idiots.
Oh
One
my
more.
God.
I know there was one more. And it might be my favorite headline of the week.
Definitely.
Just to
man,
read
it's
out
so
loud.
Fucking ridiculous.
I mean, I could probably just end the show. Like, I'll read the headline and then we'll just do housekeeping.
Yeah, I know.
But
Yeah.
knowing us assholes, we got a few things to say. Museum visitor falls into giant hole that looks like a cartoonish painting on the floor.
What the?
They actually had an artist come in. They put a hole in the floor, 9 feet deep, and he painted the whole inside of it. And the way he did it, it made it look like it was painted on the floor. It looked fake, like fucking the Roadrunner.
I was gonna say,
Is that what really fucking? I
Yes.
see. I was thinking when I read the fucking article, I thought there was an actual like something happened there, and
No.
people were thinking that it was painted on the
No,
floor.
it was, and what they said when as visitors came in, they actually had like people there saying, "Do not approach it." And this guy was just like, "Nope, it's a cartoon fucking painting." And he went
basically,
right in.
most artists will try to make it look like there's a hole where there isn't.
right.
So people will
Yeah.
freak out walking on a sidewalk and think they're walking down a cavern and falling, and they'll like, oh, because it's photorealism. This guy said, no, we got a giant hole in the floor.
Let's make it look like it's not a
I'm
giant
going to
hole.
make it look like it's not there.
That's pretty damn good, man.
And my comment is, if you go to the Acme Museum,
Yeah, that's where it should be.
you've kind of asked for this.
Yeah.
Oh man! It wasn't. It was actually the Hiroshima fucking exhibit that he fell into. So terrible.
Goodbye, Japanese listeners.
guy-
I hear giant hole. I'm just glad that my ex-girlfriend is visiting museums. Because there was absolutely nothing cartoonish about that fucking
About that gate.
that crime scene of a sliz that she called a
crime
vagina.
Oh my god.
That bitch looked like a hatchet wound with tetanus and cream cheese.
like,
Fuck that girl.
4 or 5 guys fell on that thing in a week.
Seriously.
I wonder if the guy fell in there and fucking popped out of a museum in China.
I know that my ex's fucking coach spit out about 10 Thai kids. 27 Chilean miners.
Oh my god.
27 Chilean miners.
Damn. That chick was fucking
glow sticks at the bottom of that thing. Ark of the Covenant.
Brad goes down and he's like, hello, hello, hello.
We're a fucking wetsuit to go down on her.
I just wish they would install one right out in front of the 7-Eleven near my house.
no shit.
That would be great. Just watching all those fucking junkie heroin people just falling in
no
on
kidding.
top of each other, like one after another.
Again, it's still tied into my ex-girlfriend's fucking puss. Bunch of junkies and needles falling in there. Going, ah!
Watching the price of your home go way up as it happens.
Exactly. As it goes, like, oh, this is like paint over it white, and that's it. They're going.
Oh, even better,
Nobody ever saw her.
just paint a bunch of drugs and friggin' coins on the ground and fucking watch them fucking jump in it.
God damn.
Oh my god, I think that'd be great though. Somebody paints my ex's cooch white.
It's
No
gonna take
need
a lot
to be
of
afraid
paint.
of the hole anymore.
Instead of that brownish pink.
That's gonna take many gallons to fucking fill.
I don't
bro.
know what hepatitis
That
looks like. I got
leathery pink color.
when you let paint sit for a while in a can and get scabbed over, like fucking, you gotta peel that shit
She
back.
looks like the Naga in 70s porn.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
what she looked like. Like, honestly,
my
that
God,
shit had
Naga
wood
hide.
paneling on the inside. She looked like an old man's boat.
Oh, shit.
Peter Brady was hanging inside it. It's fucking nasty, man. It's so 70s.
His voice changed 3 times in an echo. All right,
God.
fuck this. Let's
We've
do a little
talked-
housekeeping.
Yeah, we've talked
definitely.
about a ton of disgusting shit, and I love
Yeah.
Nice to get back to normal, boys.
it. Yep.
Craig, I had a
It
great
is.
time hanging out with you last week.
Yes.
And I apologize to everybody who got their first period listening to us.
Yeah, exactly. We just had a discussion.
And it was a good one.
It was a good one.
And you know what? I can't promise you, like I said in the intro, I can't promise we're not going to do it again.
No.
Because behind the fucks and the shits and the cocks and the dicks,
Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
yeah, I'm good like that. I think we do have a lot to say, but sometimes you just can't. We did this to blow off steam.
We did
Yeah.
it. We did it last week, and we realized we needed to blow off some steam. We haven't done it in a while.
And you did when I wasn't fucking here. By the way, fuck you guys for that
No.
second half of the
We
show
did.
You know
last
what?
week.
I'd feel better about that comment if you actually listen to the fucking
Yeah,
show.
because we
Well-
did a better show
I don't. Okay.
without you. No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
No,
I
we
know.
did it. We did a show that was I
was
think I
calmer.
said fuck once.
Yeah.
You know,
It
And we
was.
were like,
it was.
It wasn't us.
It was. Well, it wasn't that it wasn't us. It was just a different side. But I don't know if that's what I want.
It wasn't all 3 of us.
Yeah, and then
Whatever.
that was the key.
No,
you know,
you know.
It lacked that vibe. But we came in tonight on a mission, and it started on Tuesday.
And no doubt, man. It really did.
That
Yeah.
that intro was written basically organically.
Yes.
That shit just came together because we
Very fast.
hated the fact that we seemed a little light. We hated the fact that we seemed a little limp. And so we came back and we did something good. I think these topics today really did a good job. So let's get to the housekeeping. I think we made a show that was worthy of our friends on the Damaged Goods Network. And that includes the flagship Damaged Goods, our XX chromosomes that keep us in line, our ladies at Daddy Issues, our friends that keep us light and airy over at Baked and Awake,
Yes.
our friends that mention us countless times an episode on Clay Time in the Basement,
Yes.
Clay.
and our friends that we have yet to really get to know. We're gonna at beta testing,
Yep.
but at the end of it, we are a part of this network, and tonight's a show that I feel like put us right square back in the middle.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Hell
Put
yeah.
us right in the mix.
That's it. I feel like our friends Fireball and Terry, they're gonna feel a lot better about this one. So What else is going on? We got merch. Go over to teespring.com.
Teespring.com.
Search for Needless to Say. Don't even have to type podcast. We're just that fucking cool.
Yeah, we are.
Buy our shit, especially the one for Mike, his sausage shack.
Yeah.
There's actually going to be a line outside of
Mike's house.
a bunch of fucking EBT card holders waiting for fucking free sausage on cheap sausage.
Yeah.
Sausage.
We have other shirts too, in case you're not into meat. We also are all over social media at NTS_podcast. Do us a favor, leave us a comment, send us a message, share our shit. Please share our shit. And if you like us on Podbean, where we're hosted, leave a comment there. And again, share our shit.
Yeah, drop us a line. We'll share your shit too.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. It's all about reciprocity, motherfucker.
That's right.
With that, I don't have much else to say. It was a lot of fun tonight, boys. I'm glad to be back in rhythm. Craig.
Needless to say, we said it.